You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about Caitlin Clark and ESPN. As we used to call it on the other channel, the Marxist ESPN of China. That's right, the Disney-owned product out there trying their best at engagement farming. Well, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm guilty of that too. I mean, they always say, well, that's a clickbait title. Well, yeah, you want people to actually click on your video and watch it. So, you know, if there isn't a certain amount of that, you won't make it on YouTube. Forget it. I mean, if you're not willing to get a little clickish to the baitish going on, you've got no hope. It's not going to happen for you. Because unfortunately, that's just what people respond to and click on. It is what it is. Now, that said, I always bring the truth. And in this case, ESPN is getting crushed. And this came out about a day and a half ago. And like I like to do, I sat back and waited. All right. And I wanted to see the social media response for what was absolutely an absurd take by ESPN. Believe it or not, it wasn't Stephen A. Smith this time or Ryan Clark. It was just ESPN in general. ESPN doing ESPN things. And in this case, not picking Caitlin Clark as a top 2 greatest college basketball player of all time. The disrespect is real. And guys, it's going to get worse. As we get closer to the tournament and we head into March Madness now, oh, shit, the Juju Shields are going to come out of the woodwork in the media because that's their next big hope, right? Now, I'll be the first to tell you, what Caitlin Clark did with the talent on those Iowa teams was nothing short of amazing. But, of course, ESPN is not going to give her credit for that. So never mind the accolades. They always want to talk championships. Championships are fine. I get it. But that doesn't always tell the full story, and it certainly doesn't with Caitlin Clark's career in college, right? So ESPN is getting this as Outkick. ESPN's getting annihilated for disrespecting Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever superstar was a dominant force in college at Iowa. We all know that. She changed women's college basketball and now pro basketball forever, I guess, or until she's no longer around and people go back to not watching. Clark brought historic ratings with her as well as became an All-American and the best player in the country. She left the Hawkeyes as the all-time scoring leader in major college basketball history. That's man or woman, all right? Just putting that out there. Impressive. ESPN released a video titled, "Is Caitlin Clark the greatest of all time in college basketball?" ? Interesting. But, I mean, I get what they were trying to do there. I mean, honestly, they even put her right up front. I see what you did there. Now you'd think, given the title of the video, she'd be in contention for the top spot. The correct answer is yes, but that's not what happened. The 10-minute video ends with her being iced out of the top 5. And guys, to be honest with you, I knew this story was going around, but I did not know they did not put her in the top 5. We're just learning that out together. This is what we call engagement farming. ESPN used Clark's name and image to drive views despite not even actually including her in the list. The internet was not impressed. I wonder what the list was. I don't even know if I want to. If it's
love
a 10.
Caitlin.
Oh,
Love
here
how
we
she's
go.
transcended the game. I'm not going to go away from that. But in the open, we said, what makes a top 5 player? Winning. The only strike against Caitlin Clark is that she has not won a national championship. And that is the only thing that you can put against her, because the way she has dominated the record books when she was at Iowa was something you cannot duplicate. She's a 3-time NCAA scoring leader and assist leader, a true point guard for the people, 3-time All-American, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year, 2-time AP Player of the Year, all-time leading scorer. She broke the records of Kelsey Plum and Sabrina. Like, literally, there is nobody who has been such a front-facing name through a direct reflection of her skill set. But how can you be a top 5 player if you have not won a title?
It's a great point, which is why I agree with you. Convince me, Ari. We're switching them back.
Again, we read Cheryl Miller's resume. She's a winner. She's a winner multiple times. Yeah. But, like, I have a really hard time. It's like painting me.
Okay, that's where I'm going to stop this. Am I going nuts, or were those UConn teams, like, loaded, if I remember correctly? How about some Carolina teams? They had some WNBA players on teams, right? How many WNBA players were really on the floor with Caitlin Clark? I know Kate Martin. And, she drugged some teams to championship games that some could argue probably shouldn't even have been in the discussion, but yet they made it. And I'm not trying to crap on Iowa basketball, but you get my point, right? Wow. So I waited for some reaction, and luckily Outkick put it together here in one clever little rundown for us. So here we go. Can't make clicks without putting Caitlin Clark in the title on the thumbnail. Laugh out loud. 0 people would have watched this without the clickbait Caitlin on the cover. No one, not Taurasi, not Stewie, no one could have led the Iowa team to as much success as Caitlin Clark. That may be the most valid comment so far. If Caitlin Clark isn't in contention because she didn't win the NC2A championship, then why are you clickbaiting us with the title to this show? Very disingenuous ESPN. Getting views and trashing CC. Let's not forget, Iowa was Big Ten champions, made it to the finals 2 years in a row. That isn't easy. Does she not get enough credit for just doing it in back-to-back years? That's something to bring up, that she actually took them there in back-to-back years. Seriously. This is a joke. UConn and Tennessee were the only 2 teams for 2+ decades. No competition, which makes their run weak. This is more of a parody today than when players you named played. Plus, the winning championships is a team and not an individual player. Caitlin is the only NC2A player, men and women, 3,000+ points, 750 assists, 750 rebounds. You spoke about her for 30 seconds before you kicked her out of the top 5. But you used her name of the title for 11-minute video, and that's what people really sort of got into. One guy said, nice rage bait, this logic, Robert Horry is better than LeBron. No, that's not the case, but I'm not the biggest LeBron guy either. Epic fail without Caitlin Clark. You just hate Caitlin Clark. You hate Caitlin Clark. We get it. Well, and I almost think that's really the theme, because we watched it with ESPN's studio folks last year and their analysis people. Don't they have somebody on their staff that's an WNBA analyst that is literally named LaChina James? We literally had that on a T-shirt as a parody for LeBron. That's hilarious. I was like, wait, she's named LaChina James? Is this real? Did you buy her shirt? ? Just wondering. Hilarious. One of our best-selling shirts of all time was the LaChina James shirt. I ought to bring it back. But, yeah. I get it. You want to title something to bring engagement, but this is where me and ESPN would differ on this. If you're going to use Caitlin Clark in the title, it would be a Caitlin Clark heavy kind of video. All right? And she better be in the top 5 somewhere if you're going to use her in the title on top of it. So that's where me and ESPN would sort of part ways on how they decide to do business. Come hell or high water, Stephen A. Smith is probably going in this thumbnail, and his ass wasn't involved in this. See how that works? Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.